Robin's over here with the number of flavors we have. So that's another thing when you're trying to develop this agile mindset, to think about and do agile, you need to all talk the same language. So for example, if Ina is paying for the project, but it's predictive, we know what we're doing up front, we're going to build a building. Pretty simple. We've built thousands of them before. We're a construction company. We can plan it up front. She can pay for a lot of it up front. We can buy the resources, we can execute the plan, and we can inspect the building and hand her the keys when we're done. Okay, that's predictive. In that instance, in that context, she is the sponsor of the project because she's paying for it. If, however, what we're building, Ina, is a website, so we don't know what it's going to look like. We don't even know how many pages it's going to ultimately have. We don't even know what the color themes are going to be. We're kind of going to have to kind of develop this in collaboration with Ina as we go. That's agile or incremental, okay? So in that case, Ina is the product owner. She owns the website, and we build the features and the functions that she expects as we go, and she pays us as we go. So right there is a difference in the languages. For example, so if I'm the project manager on the building we're building for her, I'm the project manager because I have a PMP. If it's a website, there's no such thing as a project manager. The product owner owns the product, and the coach, it's the project manager. The coach coaches the team and the product owner and everything to deliver the value. So you've got to kind of learn this new language too. And that's what I do at Vets the PM. We've got, I used to be a university professor in addition to a business executive project manager. So we've got courses in all of these little specializations of agile and project management, right? So you can visit vetsthepm.com, check it out, pick the one you dig. If I spark something today, and go get that course. Now, let's get to the 6 things that I think you need to have an agile mindset. How do you bake this into your planning? And then Jenny, that'll be it. And we can have a Q&A, have a bit of a chat. Okay, so first, include your stakeholders. Stakeholders is a predictive term. Customers is an agile term. And team members is a very specific type of stakeholder and or customer. They're the ones that do the work on the project. So you still need to take care of them because they do your work. They're the ones that deliver the value you're going to hand to the customer. So you have to include them in the planning, in the metric creation, in the resourcing. So all those things that used to be the purview of the manager, man, you better involve your people because they're going to do the work. And if you don't, there's very low buy-in. There's very low trust. There's very low initiative. Okay. So again, imagine if you use that principle outside of projects. What if everybody in operations did business like that? Right? Number 2, practice continuous process improvement. Now that's a buzzword too. It's been around for like 3 decades. Continuous process improvement. Air Force built their CPI, the whole thing on it. Bake it in. For example, in Scrum, a very specific flavor of agile project management, they build in a 4-hour review, very specific, 4 hours or less at the end of every single increment. And the meeting objective is simple. What went right? What could have gone better? And how do we make it go better next time? And you don't just file it in a lessons learned binder. You collect that stuff and you plan on how to bake it into the next increment. And every increment has one of those sessions. So again, this is all about our behavior, our mindset. Bake this stuff into your processes and it will execute automatically. You put this thing on autopilot, right? All right. The third thing is, the third principle is how do you, or tenet, the things you believe, how do you create a high performing team? If they're doing the work, then empower them to do the work. Let them make the decisions about how the work gets done. Let them make the decisions about who does what piece of the work. What do I care who does what piece of the work? As long as the work's getting done and I'm getting the value to show the customer and I'm cashing checks, man, I don't care who does what. Just somebody figure it out and get it done. Fail fast. Think about this for a minute. And this is just part of being a human. This is not management. We are wired as human beings to learn through experience. Experience is I tried something and I either succeeded or I failed, which means I learned how to do it better next time. So in your environment, whether it's project management, temporary or operational, ongoing, set up an environment where you don't punish experiments and failure. You build it in. You reward initiative and experimentation. Figure out how to do it better, faster, cheaper. Those are called spikes in project management, agile. So fail fast, deliver value often, right? Figure out how to build a prototype or sketch or model, or figure out how to show the customer what they think they want instead of describe it in a text document. Think about it. Oftentimes when you show somebody something, Ida wants me to build her a pin. I hand her the pin. She goes, man, yellow. I was kind of thinking green. Well, you never said that. The only way I'd know that is if I show her something and she says, that's not what I want. Now I know what I want because I know what I don't want. I don't want it yellow, brother. I want it green. Okay, cool. Show her something early and often. Show her value for the check she's writing. And then finally, right, ABC. And this is not Alec Baldwin, always be closing in Glengarry Glen Ross. This is always be courageously candid. Learn to say no, but. Hey, Ina, I can't build the website for you like that, but I can do it like this or like this. Which would you like me to do? Now she's implicit. She's helping me make the decision. Now it's not my stupid decision, it's our decision, right? Increases buy-in, increases trust, increases responsibility and accountability. It clarifies expectations. So that's it, Jenny. Build an agile mindset and use it in operations. Don't just keep it in the project management office, and you can enjoy more productivity, more buy-in and commitment, and increase project success. That's all I got.
Oh my gosh, it sounds like somehow I've been using some of these things in the projects that I've been doing. And Addie, who has joined me because of Vets to PM and your DoD Skill Bridge program, has really helped me. So as we wrap up, Eric, talking about this, why does this really fit for veterans?
Well, it fits for veterans. And I mean, gee whiz, we should let Addie answer that question. But in a sentence, it fits for veterans because veterans do manage. We call ourselves leaders, but the reality is we make plans. We identify standards of performance. We control planned performance to plan. We identify key performance indicators. We lead through influence. Everybody thinks veterans yell and scream and like throw fits and make people do push-ups. That's not how the military works anymore. That's not how it works. It's through subtle influence, right? I coach, I advise, I suggest, right? So veterans have all of those hard and soft skills. The trick with veterans is you can't knife hand people in the Civ Div anymore. That's got to go away, right? So like you'll notice, I almost always have something in my hand. I can't make a knife hand. That way I can't get myself in trouble. So anyway.
Well, that's a great point. One of the things we talked about when we were warming up was that a lot of federal contractors hire veterans, and hiring veterans with these credentials they need. I think the ones you said are super in demand are IA and IT. What does that mean? And how would they find that kind of talent through your program? How do they reach you?
Well, first of all, we have a program that is DoD approved. So indirectly, they endorse every piece of our curriculum and all of our program outcomes. I have to report every single quarter to DoD on whether I'm using their resources, their veterans, wisely or not. So, for example, in the Fed contract space, a lot of times in DoD, you will see a requirement in the solicitation that says somebody on the team better know how to manage projects. I expect to see a PMP and or an ACP or a PSM, a professional scrum master. I expect to see somebody with some project management chops that can prove it. Remember provable fluency? Talk like a project manager, show them a credential like a project manager. They assume you're a project manager. The other thing is information assurance, IA, or information technology, IT. If the contract is a DoD contract, you don't even get to sit down at the table unless you have a Security Plus from CompTIA, period. They won't let you on their job site. They won't let you access DoD systems. They won't let you use a DoD laptop. You literally can do zero work on that contract if somebody on the team touching the keyboard doesn't have a Sec Plus. So that's why at my company, every course we have is based on provable fluency. The vet comes to us, they learn to speak like that, they look like that. We teach them how to dress, wear pocket squares, don't wear a lot of perfume and cologne. We teach them the basic blocking and tackling that all the civilians they're competing against know. They sound like a project manager. They look like a project manager. Oh, and by the way, they have a credential from an independent third party that says, I looked at her experience and Addie's a project manager. Go figure. And then Jenny hires her as a project manager. Like it's really that simple. And as long as the vet keeps the math simple, my salary, although meaningful and sizable, my salary, if it's less than the amount of value I'm bringing you, the insane amount of value, that's hiring math in your favor all day long. Hey, I expect $110,000, but I'm going to bring you $500,000 every year in value. How's that? I got no problem writing a $110,000 check if I'm making 4 or 5 times my money. That's called investing. That's finance. So anyway.
Well, that's absolutely it. And I want to thank you for connecting me with Addie from DoD SkillBridge. And if people want to connect with you and find out more about how they can get the talent that you are able to provide, and have some conversations also about the course in case they need that, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
So I am at eric@vets2pm.com, ERICVETS2pm.com. If you want training, that's vets2pm.com/training. And if you want to take a talent test drive, if you want an Addie, you go to vets2pm.com/skillbridge. It's that easy.
Oh my gosh, it's really changed my life to have Addie on the team. When I interviewed her, she said, well, I already went to your website. I figured out this, and this. I believe what you need is X, and let's talk about it. And she has crushed it all the way through. So thanks so much for being on today, Eric. And I'm going to stop the recording. We'll be on for Q&A.